Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video today. We'll have a bit of a chat about what's going on here in Spain while I go for a drive because I've got a few things to do, so let's go. Now, an unusual video today, it being Saturday. I don't normally do this type of video on a Saturday, but a special occasion today, and also because I've been a little bit busy during the week, so it hasn't been easy for me to put out videos on a regular basis, doing a few things related to English teaching, so I haven't really got the time to dedicate to videos, or as much time at least as I would normally have. Today I'm on the road, as you can see. I'm off to Leroy Merlin. I'm not going to do any DIY shopping. I'm just going there to buy a few things for the barbecue because, as you can see, it is a fantastic spring day today. Spring has finally arrived in this part of Spain, so I'm off to Leroy Merlin to buy some items for the barbecue, especially the briquettes for the Weber and some fire starters as well. So off to do that now. Now, what's been going on in Spain? Well, plenty of things happening as usual, and a couple of things that have caught my attention related to alcohol. Now, I mentioned in Thursday's live stream that Spain is slowly becoming a nanny state. They're cracking down on what people can eat and drink. For example, when it comes to sugary drinks, there's taxes imposed on those. There's also limits on how much salt can be put in bread by bakers, and other things that the government is cracking down on in order to get a healthier population, let's say. And one of the things that caught my attention was that, I think it was on Thursday, maybe Wednesday, rumors started flying around that the Spanish government was going to ban alcohol being sold with the famous Menú del Día. Now, if you're not familiar with the Menú del Día concept here in Spain, what it is that the majority of restaurants and bars in this country, cafeterias as well, coffee shops, offer a 3-course meal at lunchtime. First dish, second dish, dessert, or a coffee. And included in that price is a drink. And that drink can be a glass of beer, it can be a glass of Coke, it can be a bottle of wine. So there's plenty of options when it comes to the Menú del Día and drinking alcohol. So the rumors started flying that the government was going to ban alcohol being sold with this meal, because a lot of people might think that it's not productive to drink a bottle of wine at lunchtime. But of course, as can be expected, and what normally happens here in Spain, is that people went up in arms, and the government had to backtrack on that decision, or at least they came out and said that, oh no, we weren't talking about doing this, it's misinformation or disinformation. So that was the Menú del Día saga or controversy. And it's interesting that the government does put these things out there, that they are going to try to limit what people can eat and drink. Now, I'm a person that thinks that people should be responsible when it comes to these things. For example, alcohol might be available with your daily meal, but you don't have to drink alcohol at lunchtime if you don't want to. There's nobody forcing you to drink alcohol. You can order water, you can order a soft drink if you like, a sugar-free soft drink, that would be. So there's nobody putting a gun to your head forcing you to drink alcohol, but obviously people do, because it is a custom or a tradition in this country to do so. And as I said, every bar and restaurant normally has a Menú del Día where alcohol is part of this meal. But as I said, nobody's forcing you to drink it. I, for example, if I have a Menú del Día, I had one the other day, I had one yesterday. Yesterday I did have a beer because I had nothing to do in the afternoon. But on Thursday, I just had a bottle of water. So I didn't drink alcohol with my meal. But there were lots of people in the restaurant with a full bottle of wine on the table, or a half-empty bottle of wine halfway through the meal, and they serve it with a type of lemonade drink as well, so it's not that strong. It doesn't have to be that strong. Vino y casera, so people can take their own decisions when it comes to drinking at lunchtime. So why do we need the government to intervene in our lives? That's the question, and that's the thing that annoys me the most. And I don't know whether it's a particular characteristic of certain governments or whether it is the trend in other countries as well, but the idea that you ban alcohol with the famous Menú del Día here in Spain, scandalous in my opinion. And another thing that caught my attention today was that they're also talking about in the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, Ibiza, Menorca, to limit the amount of drinks that can be sold with these packaged holidays. People that go to hotels that everything is included, these all-inclusive hotels. The Balearic Islands says that they are going to limit the amount of drinks that can be served with each meal. Now, I'm not sure what the exact amount is. I think I read something like 6. So again, government intervention telling us what we can and can't do when it comes to alcohol. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for responsible alcohol consumption. People need to control what they drink, and if you can't control what you drink, you've got a problem. But do we need the government to tell us what to do? Do we need the government to put these bans in place? That is the question, in my opinion. And I think Spain is going down the wrong track with this. Sure, there is a problem with alcoholism and alcohol tourism in lots of parts of the country. For example, if you go to any of the coastal resorts in Spain, you can see that people drink too much, and their behavior obviously is not the best. But again, should we be telling people how much they can and can't drink? That is the question. So I'm at Leroy Merlin now. I'm just going to find a place to park here. Here in Spain, you have to do these things early to beat the crowds. The crowds normally come in around 11, 12, 1 p.m. here in Spain before lunch. So I'm going to get this out of the way now while there aren't too many people here. So in to buy the briquettes. Okay, so I've got the briquettes. Absolute pleasure to come to Leroy Merlin on a Saturday morning before 10 a.m. because it is empty and you get everything you need stress-free. So fantastic shopping experience here today. Now I've got the briquettes. As I said, the only thing I need now is something to put on the barbecue. So let's go to a local business and get something to eat. So that was my rant about governments trying to limit what we can do and what we can't do here in Spain at the moment. And as I said, in my opinion, they're going a little bit too far, putting these ideas out there and checking to see what the public reaction will be like when it comes to limiting alcohol consumption. So not good in my opinion. But anyway, what can we do? Now, the final thing we'll talk about today is that the government yesterday, or maybe it was Thursday, got their Anticrisis proposal passed in the Parliament. As we know, we've got that 20 cent per litre reduction on fuel prices. We've got also a cap on gas prices now, so hopefully people's electricity bills will come down, because as we know, they have been rising steadily for the last year or so. So hopefully that's going to be the case. And there's also a cap on rents. If you're renting at the moment here in Spain, your landlord for the next 3 months cannot increase the price in line with inflation. That's also something that has come down a little bit. Inflation down to 8.5%, I think, or something like that. 8.4, 8.5%. So inflation down just a little bit, which is good to see as well. And hopefully it will come down even further as the months roll on. But this anti-crisis plan approved by the government and their partners. And it was touch and go there for a while because the government has lost a lot of support in the Congress. It's especially with some of the decisions that they have taken recently, and also because of this Catalonian spy scandal. The Catalonians didn't vote with them, in the parliament the other day, so they had to rely on a group called Bildu, who have links to the radical side of Basque politics, let's say. And that's the issue that the government had. So they managed to get that proposal over the line, but just. So I'll wrap the video up today. Not a long video, but I got everything that I wanted to say out of the way. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. There'll be another live stream tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Hope to see you there. We're going to try to break the chat activity record. Hopefully. We were very close on Thursday. I think there was something like 220 chats in the sections. So we'll try and break that record if we can. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully. Hasta luego.